has to be inside Europe and has to be Formula One approved.
Mark Webber on track then, the hero of Melbourne, the local boy from Queensland, who got the whole of Australia on his feet. He's now back down to earth here in Malaysia. 21st fastest this morning, and both the Minardis really struggling for power around this circuit. The Asiatech engine regarded as being possibly the weakest on the grid at the moment. It's a big improvement on the customer Ford Cosworth they had last year, but it's still well done on power compared to the big boys from BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Ferrari.
It didn't look too shabby though in the race in Melbourne, didn't it, when they were trying to pass him down the straight and couldn't get past Webber. So I don't think it's too far off the pace. I think it's generally accepted in the paddock that the BMW is the strongest, around 850 horsepower, probably 825 for the Ferrari and 800 for the Mercedes and the rest of them. But 50 horsepower around this type of length of circuit, best part of a second a lap. I would imagine this guy is another 50 horsepower behind Ferrari and McLaren, for example. So he's pushing it uphill, isn't he?
It's a lot to give away. It's certainly a lot to give away. Webber on track then. Hasn't done very many laps so far this weekend. He only did 6 in total on Friday, while most other people did around 40. Lost a lot of time, had a spin in the morning, and then a big engine problem in the afternoon. So he's been playing catch-up big time this weekend.
There's a secondary significance to the Minardis going out one at a time. A lot of TV exposure. When the sponsors calculate at the end of the year the number of seconds that they've had of exposure, moments like this, you know, there's a reason why these two cars are out there, and I'm serious about that. It's calculated the value of the exposure that was received compared to the money that was put in by a lot of the sponsors, and moments like this are key for these smaller teams, because the big boys, they're always leading the race and they get about 90% of the TV coverage. So that's why it's important for these tail enders, as it were, horrible word to use, but it's a fact of life, why they need to get out there and get some TV exposure.
It's all part of the money go round, which is Formula One. A lot of talk about money at the moment in Formula One, cost cutting. Teams such as Minardi and Jordan really leading the way, hoping to cut costs in Formula One. We'll talk about that no doubt a little bit later on. Meanwhile, Mark Webber finishing his flying lap, and 0.6 of a second faster than his teammate Alex Young. 139.9 for Webber, and that's a little bit faster than he managed this morning. So the track appears to be faster than it was in the morning practice sessions. That could mean that the front runners, and that's certainly one of them, will be pushing down into the 1:35. It's going to be a very, very close contest. It could just come down to having the right lap at the right moment, or perhaps one of your main opponents getting a little bit caught up with traffic.
Absolutely. We saw a shot of Michael Schumacher. He's earning about $1 million a weekend. He's not put in too much hard work today, has he? Just 10 laps, but it's all about quality and not quantity. There's the Sauber team. We're expecting them anytime that Williams and McLaren or Michelin are having an off weekend, Sauber should be there ready to punish them, but we haven't quite seen that pace from them that we were expecting. In fact, best of the rest so far in Malaysia appears to be the Renault team.
Indeed, and one team that's really struggling at the moment, two teams that are really struggling, are Jaguar and BAR. BAR this morning were down in 19th and 20th places, and Jaguar, well, they were 14th and 17th. So a lot of long faces in both of those garages, a lot of the mechanics getting a little bit disgruntled now. A lot of rumours that David Richards, the new boss of BAR, is going to start getting his axe out soon and cutting a few people from the technical department there. And Jaguar, well, as you've already heard, they're considering running a hybrid version of last year's car. It's not quite as dramatic as it sounds. That hybrid is about 1.5 seconds faster than the R2 Jaguar, which started